So I'm going to see if I have luck with pulling this up. Whoops. I forgot to share my screen. Okay. Now, I'm going to push play. So see, I can't see everybody whenever I do it like that. So I'm going to leave it like this if that's okay. Can everybody see that okay?
Yes.
Okay. So what do you want?
Hey, one question.
Sure.
One question. Are you recording?
Yes, I hit recording.
Okay, I just didn't send out my screen. I just want to make sure.
Well, I just clicked it before right there at the very end.
Oh, you're good. You're good. I just want to make sure.
Okay. So what do you want? Like I said, we asked Logan. He's 4 years old, and I was to ask him, hey, Logan, what do you want? He could probably tell me just real quick. But like I said, as we get older, it gets to where it's a little bit more challenging of a question. But yet, we get to choose. We get to choose every day, every second, every minute, every hour, every 3 hours we get to fuel. So we get to choose that one too, you know. But it's like we get to choose exactly what it is that we want. So this was something that, for me personally, that was difficult for me. I had attempted to choose some things that I wanted, but there was always an underlying factor that kept me from that. And if you read this little quote that I have, it says, if you look to others for fulfillment, you will never be truly fulfilled. And how many times do we know what we want, but we don't really dive all the way into what we want? We have to make sure that everybody else is on board with what it is that we want. This was something that I struggled with. But what I didn't realize was this was keeping me feeling very defeated. I didn't realize it was affecting I thought I was worthy, but yet I started going into the direction of feeling unworthy. I did have moments where I was sad. And I just felt this just being unsatisfied. It's like I couldn't find this balance. I couldn't find this, fulfillment where it was always sustainable. It just always kept yo-yoing with the emotional part. So then I had to really get clear about what do I want? What is it that fulfills me? And this is something, it's like we each have to ask ourselves, what is it that really fulfills me? Well, I'm just going to be honest with you. On this list of things that I have here, the third one was what I was looking for whenever I started this journey. I felt unattractive. And being a hairdresser of 30 years, I was standing in front of a mirror and I had to, I was picking myself to death. I wasn't happy with me. I couldn't ask what everybody else thought of me because that was going to keep me in that stuck place. So for me, that was probably something that I needed because there again of the profession that I was in. But I never ever dreamed that I'd lost my confidence. And I really, really desired confidence. I didn't really know about health whenever I was 40 because I was pretty healthy. But, better health, whatever age you are, if you don't have your health, those that don't have it really wish they had it. I really had to get clear about, I didn't want to have to work. I didn't want to have to work so hard in the profession that I was in. So that was something that I didn't realize that I wanted until I really got a little bit more clear with what it was that I did want. I wanted to travel. I really wanted happiness and joy, and I wanted it to be sustainable. I didn't want it to be, I'm happy today, sad tomorrow. I joy today, no joy tomorrow. I wanted it to be all the time. And I really wanted peace in my life. And it was a peace that passes all understanding, where things are happening in our life, but it's like to be able to flow with whatever's happening in our lives. So I had to really get clear on what it was that fulfilled me. So then I knew there had to be change in order for me to be able to fulfill this list of things that I truly desired. But man, is change scary. How many of you have tried to do something that's out of the norm and it's so scary? But then I had this quote that I've noticed throughout many years, and it says doing the same thing over and over again but expecting different results was a sign of insanity. So what I didn't want to be insane, but I had to really get clear about, do I keep doing the same thing over and over? But this change was so scary. Why was it scary? It was scary because it was the fear of the unknown. It was like opening a door and you didn't know what was on the other side, and it was a path that you hadn't traveled, you weren't really familiar with. And man, a big one for me was, what's everybody going to think? If I do this, what are they going to think? What kind of input are they going to give me? How are they going to try to, detour me from what it is that I want? And, it was out of my comfort zone. So, that's not really a fun place to be either. And it was change. And change meant that my old ways of doing things, how that was automatic and I didn't have to think. I was going to have to learn some new things. And that change, it sort of caused you to be a little bit uneasy.
Hello. Listen. Anybody listening to me?
Can everybody mute their mics?
Sorry. How do I mute? Right here.
So then here I was at this dilemma again. Guess what? I had to make a decision. I could go back to the insanity place that I lived, that was the old familiar way, or I could move towards a new way. I got to choose. And then whenever I made the decision to choose, guess who showed up? Mr. Doubt. How many of y'all have Mr. Doubt that shows up frequently? Oh, I mean, he's knocking on the door. He's like, hey, I'm back again. And then I had to go, okay, Mr. Doubt. I had to look Mr. Doubt in the face, and I had to say, Lisa, what do you want? Well, that was a very hard question to answer and stick to, right? Because we're always finding ourselves giving Mr. Doubt what he needs for some reason. Why? I don't know. But why is it so hard? So I had to learn how to start asking myself more often and daily, what do I want? What do I want? What do I want? And then I had to decide, is it going to be me or is it going to be Mr. Doubt? But there were some things I had to learn. And this is where my health coach played a big factor. He really helped me with these areas, because there again, I did not want to admit that I didn't have confidence. That was a sign of weakness. and it was very difficult for me to say, yeah, I've got confidence, but I had to understand what confidence meant. And it's very important, and it is a determining factor when getting what you want. So you don't really know that you don't have confidence until you start working on yourself and you go, wow, maybe I didn't have the confidence I needed. But confidence can be described as a belief in one's ability to succeed. Striking a healthy balance can be challenging, but too little of confidence can prevent you from taking risks and seizing opportunities in all areas of lives. And sometimes these risks that you take, just like whenever you said yes to the program, many of you said yes to the program, and whenever you started, you might not have had confidence in knowing you could be successful. I'm hearing an echo. There we go. So I had some daily work I had to do. One thing is I had to be truthful and I had to be honest with myself. I mean, that's where I didn't pretend anymore. I had to quit the pretending, and I had to be truthful and honest, and I had to really get clear on what it is that I wanted, because I knew that what I wanted, and by being true to myself was going to raise my confidence level. This is what my health coach shared with me. Then I had to ask myself, can I grow daily and achieve more of what I want? Is this something that it's a daily work, but it's like the effort I'm putting into it and the consistency, is it going to be able to elevate my confidence and get me closer to what I want? Can I learn about my daily thoughts and how they are serving with what I wanted? So our thoughts really play a big part in our confidence level and being able to create what it is that we want. So we've got to really be in tune with our thoughts. Can I polish up on some skills, staying connected to my coach, moving me forward? And was I willing? See, the willing part is I have to be willing to do some things out of my comfort zone, like reading some books. I didn't like to read when I was in school. I'm hearing an echo again. Could I be able to listen to my health coach and let him share with me about some books that was going to raise my confidence level, to be able to help me to know that anything was possible, that I could achieve what it is that I wanted? Could I spend some time daily or weekly or whatever, maybe going to YouTube University? Thank goodness we have access to so many different things to move us forward if we want to grow and be able to have what it is we want in life. You know, could I tune into some of the motivational speakers, etc., different things? So then I was basically the determining factor for exploring my own potential and what I could create and be able to go after and attain with what I wanted, and it being possible. So then I had to learn something else. I had to learn what self-worth is. Self-worth is a sense of one's own value or worth as a person, your self-esteem, your self-respect. So this was asked to me, what are you worth? And I go, what? Are you kidding me? What am I worth? Yeah, you. I mean, this is what Dan told me. What are you worth? Well, then I had to really get clear about, had I sold out on, you know, what I'm worth? And you know, was I just this little hairdresser and then I had this lifestyle that was just, it was all about, you know, getting by and not being fulfilled? Or, you know, did I believe that there could be more? And did I believe that I was worth more, that there was more of something that I could offer to the world? And then I had to understand what it is that really determines my worth. And I'm still working on that today. I mean, I know Hannah and I have had many discussions about self-worth, and, you know, it's great to have growth partners where they can share with you some things that maybe can tweak those areas. Whenever we talk about, I had to be willing to have a growth partner to help me to work on my self-worth. But yet again, I got to decide whether I wanted to grow in my self-worth or not. So this was another determining factor. If I could work in these areas, then all it was going to do was be able to move me forward in really getting what it is that I wanted. Was something that I had lost, and I don't know if many of you have lost this, but I was no longer like Logan. You know, I didn't dream anymore. I had lost my dreams. I just thought it was basically left up to what I had right in front of me. And I remember one time going to, actually I had watched, I think Hannah shared here a couple weeks ago, The Secret. And whenever I watched that, there was a guy in there, John Assaraf, and he talked about creating vision boards. Well, you know, do you remember whenever you was a kid and you looked through the Sears and Roebuck catalog and it was Christmas time and you circled the things that you wanted for Christmas? And you had no idea that was going to be coming to you on Christmas morning, but it was the same concept as we get older, is to, you know, if we don't really know what we want, maybe sometimes it's best to start out with something that could be fun and playful. So create you a vision board. And so that's what I did. And so what's come about is through this process, through being a part of this community, and my journey is I've learned to dream again. I've learned to dream, and I know for a fact this community, there's many of you on here are doing the same thing. We're all dreaming together. So one thing is our community does dream. Our community believes. We believe. We may not believe as strong whenever we start, but then through the process, our belief gets stronger. Our community supports, and it supports in a great way, because the thing is we're all traveling this path, and we all know some of the things that we want in this life and want to be able to create. But sometimes most of the time together, we can be able to see it come into our existence quicker than just sitting on the sidelines and trying to do it by ourselves. Our community grows in skills and knowledge. It's not something that's just stuck and it's never evolving and growing. We're always sharing the things with one another, so that way that we can continue to grow. Our community soars with possibilities, and we do witness dreams that come true. To witness someone that's been able to lose 100 pounds, to be able to run in a marathon, to be able to get off medications, those are possibilities and dreams that do come true. But it's where you're getting up every day and you're knowing what you want. And so, the question for everybody here is, do you need to dream again? Because sometimes those dreams we feel like it's like if you got this burning fire, you can have this water just doused on you right quick, and then the dream goes to the wayside. So, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? In dreams, we love dreams, but sometimes, don't you think we live in an instant world where it's like, if it can't happen right now, then it's like, forget it, I don't want to do it. Well, what if we dreamed and we dreamed like an eagle? We seen this big picture of what we want our life to look like, but yet every day we're just taking these little steps, and we're working in different areas of our lives to be able to get us there. And it's all of a sudden one day it shows up, and you go, wow, how did that happen? But it happened. And you know what? Dream of being amazing. You are amazing. You're amazing individuals, and you are created to do amazing things. So the doubt, Mr. Doubt will come in sometimes and try to tell you that you're not amazing, but I always believe that you are amazing. And this one that I love, keep statistics away from your dreams. How many of you try to dream? How many of you share your dreams with others? And how many people will come and maybe toss a little water on your dream? Just like on the program. Oh, you can't do that. You can't, you're losing too much weight. You don't need to do, you don't want to get to where your skin sagging, or, for whatever reason that is. But just be very mindful of statistics and what people share with you. Don't let that distract you of what you want. So what do you have to gain and what do you have to lose with dreaming? So we're going to ask this question again. What do you want? You decide. And P.S., if you're having a hard time deciding on what it is that you want, get with your support coach and the community. And then together, let's explore those desires and start somewhere, rather than giving up on what could be the most exciting life that you could ever imagine. And we see with this community that we have, how much we love each other, how much support we've been to one another, and how much that we've grown together in so many different areas with whatever's going on in anybody's life. But just knowing that we have that to be able to share with someone else to make their load lighter, and to see things to be possible. So what are you worth? What are you worth? Knowing your value, believing in yourself. You can sit here and look at all these different things. And there again is, I believe in everyone. I believe in all of you, because it's there again, you make me better. You make me strive to know more about what I want in life. And I thank you for that, because without you, sometimes, and I'm sitting here on the sidelines solo by myself, and it gets sort of lonely. So it's more exciting in life to know that you get to run with a community of people that really does love to dream. So that's it. And then we're going to open it up for questions. But, I just wanted to share this with everyone and hope it can maybe benefit you in some way. So does anybody have any questions? Anybody, anything they want to add? Because I know everybody on here is experiencing different things and knowing what they want. And I know for many of us on here, whenever we started our journey, what's that? What is that, Deborah? Is that what you want? You're on mute. Everybody can unmute themselves.
It's $1 million bill. You said, what are we worth? We're all worth that, at least.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Woohoo.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It is, and there again, it's like today. I know Hannah and I both we've really been really big into Abraham Hicks, and I don't know if any of y'all sat and just take any time to listen to her stuff, but that was like today. She was talking about how and it was interesting because after I meditated, that question has been hard for me to answer. And guys, I've been 11 years into this, but it's like, what do you want? And I knew the area that I was going at, because there again, just losing my weight, getting healthy, that was just one area but it didn't really sustain me and fulfill me. It made me feel good more confident about myself. But it's freedom. I finally realized today after 11 years, so I can't wait till whenever I talk to my coach again that I know what I want now. It's freedom, and freedom to just like, this is freedom to me, to be able to get on here with each of you and share a common interest with each other. That's freedom to me. So it's like being able to see that freedom every day, day that you wake up, every hour, every minute, every hour that, you're with whomever. So I know there's many of you experience this too, and, and probably have things that, you could share with the group. What about you, Hannah?
About what? Just
about knowing what you want?
that was probably one of the hardest things for me to even kind of unveil, because I think when you get into the dream world, you can think of thousands of things that you truly want, but really honing in on those things is really what you need to do. Get specific, what you truly want to have. And then the key is getting your vibration, your energy aligned with what you want. And that's what I'm growing so much in and reading so much about, and I'm plugging into stuff that's just totally changing my whole mindset of how my life has kind of unveiled itself, and I now know why. I was actually talking to Leslie about this today. Like, we were talking about just what you attract because of where your mind is.
Mm.
And so I think for myself personally, getting specific on what you truly want, and whenever those toxic things come into your mind, such as doubt, fear, depression, anxiety, this is not going to work out for me. Remember, if you can kind of take this vision, it'll help you. There's an upstream and there is a downstream. And the upstream is trying to fix the problem, trying to fix your mind not to think that way, trying to work on it, trying to go, oh, I got to give here. I've got to have this or I won't be happy. It's focusing so much it's so much resistance towards, and you're paddling upstream, and that's pretty hard. It's pretty hard to paddle upstream. But if you just kind of let go of your oars and sit in your boat and let it just take you downstream, your thoughts would be more like, everything's working out for me. Look how awesome my life is. This is cool. Look how much I've grown in the past year. You can easily, just by me saying that, you felt the tension just kind of release.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how you're able to focus on your dreams. So whenever you have that doubt that it's not going to work out, when you have that fear that it's not going to work out, that's because you're putting so much energy into the upstream of it working out, rather than just believing it and knowing that you're worth having it, and just releasing your oars, and it's going to work itself out. Because the thing is like Albert Einstein, we're all energy, and we attract the things that we want most. And if you're wanting something really badly to happen, but you have a negative energy towards that thing happening, you have a conditional love towards that thing happening, it's not going to come to you as quick or maybe ever in your life because it's conditional. You have to be unconditionally attached to your dream and love it every second, just knowing it's happening, it's coming. I feel it. I'm tuned in, tapped in, turned on. Like, that's the feeling that you want to feel every single day. Like, you're waking up in your dream. And when you feel that, your energy just attracts all that goodness that you need in your life. So that's been my awakening of knowing what you want. Get really clear, because you got to get into it.
So does Hannah, thanks for sharing that. So does anybody, like, what's some, I know we all know we have ideas about the things we want, right? We get up, we know what we want. So have you ever had a successful whole day that you've had everything you wanted? Okay. So what did you do whenever you did? I mean, I think we would be better off if we could be kids and pitch a fit.
Yeah.
And just stomp our feet and go, I didn't get what I want. You know, I mean, sometimes I think, I've always said that, you know, frustration, whenever you get frustrated, I always told my husband, I said, it would be so good if we had an old wrecked car out, which we got plenty of wrecked cars out here, but give me a sledgehammer and just go out there and just take a few licks on it. And, you know, it's like you just feel, it's just a release. It just gets all that stuff off of you, and then just get back to the drawing board and say, okay, now what is it that I want? You know, you may have to do that a few times and then think of all the muscles you'll be working, you know, but still there again. So the mindful part is very important in a habit of health and wellness if you really want to go after what you want. Wouldn't you agree?
To tie into that, I tell you one thing that kind of helped me. Somebody gave this illustration. All of us are corks. And when you throw a cork in the water, it's going to float. But whenever you start putting all that conditional love, conditional things in your mind, whenever all that stress, that anxiety, it weighs that cork down. And you are in charge of that weighing yourself down. You are the one that can change that. So if you can kind of understand, I'm a cork, I'm meant to float. If I'm not floating, I can remove this pressure. I can release this feeling. A lot of people don't feel like they have that control. And the reason why they feel like they don't have that control is because they're still caught up in the negative energy that they're putting into it. So if you tell yourself, I'm a cork, I'm meant to float, I'm meant to feel good, I'm meant to feel light, I'm meant to feel just connected to what I want, to everything. Like, if you can tell yourself everything's always working out for me, that right there will help you to understand that you were made to not feel weighted down. And when you feel that weighted down, remember, you have the ability to move that weight off of you just by thinking everything's working out for me. It's all good. Mm-hmm. I don't want to participate in that struggle right there. That's a struggle. I don't want to participate in that. And easily you'll be able to lift that. And you think, oh, Hannah, I got to control this. Oh, but I got to put my control into it. And the more control you put into it, the more validation you give that thought, the more you're going to get of it. Validating your energy is huge. If you validate positive energy, you're going to get more of that. If you validate negative energy, you're going to get more of that. And so think of yourself as light as a cork. When you're thrown into that water, you're floating. But it's the connections, it's the conditions that we put on ourselves that come into our life daily to weigh us down. We have the ability to go, you know what? What can I work on today? And what can I give to the universe? What can I give to God or to the universe today? And find those things you can work on then. And that way you're not as stressed out. You're able to just release it and just let it go to where you're able to really be floating on water.
How many of you have tried to attempt to do something that you want, and for whatever reason it's been rejected? Your body feels it's been rejected. How many of you have emotional, like, transmitters that goes off inside your body that says, I didn't like that. And then you felt tension within your body. Did you know at that moment that you recognized your emotional transmitters going off? That you had the power to choose to participate or not? But if you don't know that you have a choice, what's some of the first things we do? We dive into it, don't we? Once we dive into it, then it's like Hannah said, it's like something that engulfs you. And the next thing you know, it gets on you and it gets in you. And then sometimes it can affect you to where you can have however many days you want to feel yuck. So what if we could be able to get connected with ourselves emotionally, know what we want, and know what we want. We can know what we want, and we don't really have to ask permission for anybody to go along with what we want, because they're on a different journey. They're on a different path. They're choosing what they want for their lives. So what if you got up every day and you just knew what you wanted and you just went ahead and done that and try it for a few days? And then you might be surprised. You might get through a whole week and go, oh my goodness, I didn't even really have to ask anybody what I wanted. I just went ahead and did what I want. And then I found myself being more successful, seeing myself opening doors and walking through these doors that I never thought I could go through. So just be in check with your emotions. Pay attention to your body. Because I promise you, a lot of the times whenever we feel the need that we need to tell someone else, because we really want them to do the same things to want the same things we want. But they have different wants, right?
Well, it's a creative process, I think. We've talked about this several times, and it's, you can't bring somebody into your creative process if they've never been a part of it. That's why it's hard for parents a lot to communicate with their kids and tell them what to do, and their kids not fighting and screaming, not wanting to do it because they weren't a part of the creative process. Because we're all human beings. We all want our idea to be the best, and we want that. So if you understand that and really go, oh, so the reason we're arguing right now is because I didn't make you a part of this creative process. I didn't ask you, hey, what's your take on this?
Right.
Instead of just, and if it's something that you truly want to do, you don't need an approval or an opinion to make that decision. Because some people that are not a part of that creative process as you are, they're not going to understand automatically because it's not something they would do, and they weren't a part of that.
And then you can save all that energy that you're back and forth. You can save that for you in creating what you want.
Yeah.
Because you feel good. You're not stressed out. So has this been helpful a little bit? Because I really think we're more alike than we are different. We really are. And it's just really, it's working through, it's owning that I don't know everything. And I've really had to humble myself with my coach. I mean, I really had to. I mean, even today, whenever I told him I didn't know how to do a PowerPoint thing, he goes, you just sit here and told me you didn't know how to do it. And it's almost like I didn't give myself credit. He said, I thought you knew how to do one. And I said, no, but he just gave me a few tips. So I was able to do what I did tonight. I was so proud of myself.
You did a great job. Awesome.
It gives confidence to you whenever you can know it, but then whenever you attempt it and you go, look what I did. And, there again, it's building the confidence. I needed my confidence built up, because not everybody just comes in and knows how to do everything. We have to have a little bit, but it's okay. It's okay to ask too. It's okay to say, hey, can somebody and that was a big one for me. I didn't ask people to help me because that was a sign of weakness.
Yeah.
So I'm learning to ask, and you can find out so many things in life that can, like I said, open doors into other areas. So, but and Joe, it's so good to see you. I'm gonna let
It's
you
good to be
speak.
here.
Yes, it's been
The
forever.
internet connection's not been great.
Well, we're glad to have you on. It's good seeing your face again because it's been a while. I know you've been real busy. So, any questions?
I've checked in by phone a couple of times.
Did you? Hey, just long as we connect, right?
Well, sometimes it just helps me to be able to hear the conversation, even if I can't, connect to the point where I can contribute. So that's always really helpful. It's supportive just to be able to, and it's a nice reminder of, the positive support of the community is still there.
Exactly. Well, that's it. That's one thing I know for sure. We all need each other. We all need each other, and there's things that we share with one another that, there again is love yourself enough that you want to grow in personal development, because there's so many things out there that that can be such a key role in your life to help you not have to struggle anymore. And so as long as you do the work, you got to take the steps, you got to do the action part. But then once you do the action, then put the application to it. And then you're like, wow, my world has changed. Because there's some on here that's known me my whole life. And then there's, some that just know me just for a little while, and some a few years. I know, whenever Brenda and I talked, I told her back 4 years. I told her back just here recently. I said, I'm not the same coach that I was 4 years ago. Isn't that right, Brenda?
Yeah.
And it's okay. I mean, I was on that because I was in the creative process myself. And so there again, whenever you don't give up on yourself, you can't give up on yourself. If you don't give up on yourself and you keep working on yourself, then you will be able to accomplish those things that you truly want for yourself. And so, but I just appreciate you never giving up on me, never putting those walls up, because I loved it whenever we was talking the other day. She goes, I had a wall up on you. I love that. I love the transparency, because we can all each put walls up on each other. We don't mean to, but it's just sort of it's just a timing where we're at in our lives. So,
Right.
But anyway, if nobody has any more comments or thoughts to share with the group, then I really do appreciate all of you participating, and I hope this has been something that you can ponder on and just write it down. Write it on your bathroom mirror. You can get a washable marker and say, what do I want? And get with your coach, your support team, our support team. It doesn't matter. We got support for life. Type in there. We're all in this together. And as long as you're growing, that means you're moving forward, and you're taking steps, whether it's baby steps. Give yourself grace and a hug and say, yes, I've moved. I'm moving forward. So do that. And just always know that we believe in you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, listen, everybody have a great night. Thanks for showing up. We'll see you next week. And just dream big.
Thanks.
Thank you, Lisa.
Well done, Lisa.
See y'all
Thank you.
later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.